Broadcast Group.
From the huge studios, WRXK, Bonita Springs, Naples, Fort Myers, a Beasley Broadcast Group station, 96K Rock and 96krock.com. Talk that rocks.
The following is a paid commercial program. The opinions expressed are those of the participants and not necessarily those of 96K Rock and the Beasley Broadcast Group.
Get off the ledge! Get off the ledge! This country should have hell been going down the drain.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening.
Why should you want to know? Don't you mind about the future?
And now, live, unedited, unrehearsed, and unapologetic, brought to you by Imperial Fire Alarm and Security, securing your world. Straight off the ledge, it's JD and Smitty!
And this is the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty on 96K Rock. Call us at 277 or 775-9600. We're streaming live on theledgeradioshow.com. And check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/The Ledge Radio Show. Let me first say thanks to our audio-video guy, Bill, and thanks to board op, Rick. Go ahead, Smitty. What you got for us today?
Oh, boy, we have a lot to take care of. We have a guest on our show this morning, Mr. Chauncey Goss. He'll be answering some questions. We'll be interrogating him. So we want to thank him for putting up with the abuse even before it starts. I'd like to thank some of the sponsors that have really stepped up and helped us a whole lot. Summer Jade, Boat Detailing, Health and Harmony, Matt Miller Tractor, Terry Winter, my barber, Doug Barbershop guy. He's taking care of me too.
How about the Guy Harvey Ultimate Shark Challenge?
Absolutely.
They'll be calling in later.
They'll be calling in later. They've got a really big deal going up there, and I think it's Punta Gorda.
You got D Square Construction and Imperial Fire Alarm and Security too.
Securing your world.
Hey, Smitty, who'd your boys pick in the draft last night? Anybody?
No. Everybody knows that draft is, it's kind of old school now because it's luck. Andrew Luck.
Yeah,
That's all I hear. Andrew Luck.
The Ravens got an outside linebacker, didn't they?
Yeah, we picked up a linebacker from Alabama. They're always good ball players down there, and they're from the South, so they play hard. But you know what I liked about the draft the most is you see the guys that are going third, second, and fourth round, and they don't really make a big splash. And then a couple years later, all of a sudden,
it's the next Tom Brady.
It's the next top guy. So it's great when you see a guy who's fourth round, and he's picked out of some podunk town or something. And
what was that word?
Podunk. It's a technical term.
I'd like you to spell that word if you could.
I'll tell you.
Can you put it in a sentence?
I'll put it in your email. All right.
All right. Well, let us welcome U.S. congressional candidate Chauncey Goss in studio with us. Mr. Goss, glad to have you.
We'll give you
glad to be
the
here.
official clapping.
Thank you.
And Chauncey Goss is running for U.S. Congress. District is it 19?
It's currently 14, but it's going to be 19.
They're because of redistricting,
That's
right?
correct.
Well, you are a politician.
Yeah.
Well,
no, public servant.
That's a public servant.
Sweet.
Now the current seat is being held by Connie Mack. Is it the third or the fourth?
I believe it's the fourth.
And he's attempting to move to the Senate to take Bill Nelson's spot.
That's correct.
Which we hope is going to be very successful.
Absolutely.
Well, you do. Not all the listeners do.
Well, hey, I'm speaking for myself.
That's
man.
true. This will make sure we understand that.
All right. So you're going to be running for that position on the Republican ticket, and you've got some strong opposition, I believe. A couple pretty strong candidates out there that have been either in public office before. We got one that's been on the radio, been on the television. When it comes to where you fall on the Republican ticket, would you consider yourself more conservative, more moderate? Where's Chauncey Goss?
Good question. I don't like to label myself and put myself sort of in a pigeonhole on that, but compared to the other candidates, I think I'm the only person who has the experience working with some of the solutions we need right now to help put this country back on a fiscal path that makes sense. Right now, we've got a tremendous amount of debt. We've got huge deficits. We're spending way too much money, and I think we need people in Washington who understand how to sort of put the spending back in the box, and that's something I've been working on for the last couple of years.
And when you did that, you were working with or under Paul Ryan, right?
That's correct. I worked for Mr. Ryan. I was his deputy staff director and his director of budget review for a couple of years, and up until 2010 when we moved back down back down to Southwest Florida and had a phenomenally good time working with Paul Ryan. We started about 6 years ago working on solutions that were incredibly unpopular at the time, because we were looking at things like how do you reform Medicare and things like how do you cut discretionary spending back before it was sort of sexy to talk about, if it's sexy to talk about. And and when we did that, people weren't wild about talking about it, and the Republican Party wasn't really there yet. Now they've come along, so Mr. Ryan, as a result, has sort of shown himself to be one of the leaders in the party.
Right. Well, I mean, it looks like it. That's still it seems to be an unpopular topic, at least on a lot of the left-wing media, outlets. Any of your CNN, C-SPANs, whatever. They're still drumming it to be a very unpopular idea to have to reform projects like that. I mean, but we've got to, right? In order to save the Social Security, in order to save any of these government programs, we've got to do some reform.
I'll tell you, you just used the absolutely the right word, and the right word is save. People talk about why don't we just go with the status quo? Well, the status quo doesn't exist in the future, because right now Social Security will be insolvent, and Medicare is going to spend this country into oblivion. It already is. And when you look at the spending curves out 35, 75 years, our kids and our grandkids, they're not going to have the United States that we have today if we allow these programs to keep growing the way they're growing today.
So how do you save it, though? I mean, everybody speaks the same thing like you say. They always say the same thing. It's going to go broke. It's going to go solvent. It's going to do this. The Medicare is going to do this. But then you got these people like me. I'm getting to be an old guy, and when I get to be real old, and then you turn around and you go, oh, well, sorry, Smitty, we would like to help you with that liver transplant, but it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? So what are you going to do? You just throw us down to the wolves or what?
No, I don't think we'll throw you to the wolves, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to find some solutions that make sense. And if you look in the Republican budget this year that Mr. Ryan did pass, and the Republicans passed, you'll see some solutions in there with Medicare that makes sense. And
what's the main one that you think comes to mind?
The main one that comes to mind is it's premium support. It basically changes the way Medicare works, and it tries to change the relationship you have with your doctor, so it's not you and your insurance company and your doctor, it's you and your doctor. Because right now there's this third-party system where you have no idea what anything costs. There's this opacity in our healthcare system right now, and it makes it very hard for you as a patient, as a consumer of the product, to have any idea what's going on. So that's one of the ways I think what we help to fix on the medical side. Social Security is actually pretty easy to fix. Everybody knows it. The problem is there's not a whole lot of courage in Washington right now, and anybody who says we're going to fix Social Security either through indexing or through increasing the retirement age a little bit, which will make the program solvent.
I'm not for that. By the way, I have a hard time getting out of bed now. When I'm 65, I don't want you to say, hey, it's 70. You got to keep getting up and going. I don't have any much gas in my tank after that.
I'm not going to ask you how old you are now, but I will tell you we're not going to. The program, any of the proposals I would favor would not change the programs for anyone over 55.
I think Smitty's about 42, but he looks like he's 65.
Yeah, I feel like I'm 105. If anybody wants to call in and talk to Chauncey Goss or ask him any questions, even bet his dad was a CIA director, which I'd love to. It's 277-9600 or 775-9600 on K-Rock. Pick up the phones and give him a call.
I got something for you now. You were in D.C. for how long? About 12 years?
Yeah, we were there from 99 till 2010.
Okay, so you recently moved back to your home is Sanibel.
Yeah, I grew up
where you grew up, right?
Yeah, I was here in the 70s.
So you're a local guy, and you came back. Now, what made you leave Washington to come back home?
More than anything else, Allison, my wife, and I, we've got 3 sons. I've got a 16, 13, and 11-year-old. We decided we wanted to raise the boys here. The quality of life here is phenomenal. Southwest Florida, as far as I'm concerned, there's no better place in the United States to be.
Well, Sanibel's nice.
Well,
if you can afford the $6 toll.
Yeah.
Well, there's a bit of a premium on Sanibel, there's no doubt.
Not much in Crime Manor, but I think Sanibel's a nice place to raise a kid.
Well, I would agree. I mean, now it's and with the budget. Now you've touted a lot about the budget. The budget. We got a huge crisis in the budget right now. Paul Ryan, he's got us to. We've got the budget passed in the House, but the Senate's not even going to bring it to the floor. I mean, if they do, they're not going to approve it.
They're not even going to pass it out of committee.
No. So it's like a lose-lose situation. I mean, because then they'll make us or the Republicans look bad, like, oh, the Congress doesn't get anything done, because they're Republican controlled. Well, they're passing stuff, but if the Democrat-led Senate won't bring it to the floor or let it get out of committee, then it looks like we've done nothing.
Yeah.
So what's the solution there? We've got to win back the Senate. We've got to win back the presidency.
Yeah, the solution is November, and you started off this whole segment by talking about Connie Mack, and we need to get people like Connie Mack in the Senate.
It seems to be no compromise, and we have battles like this off camera, and it seems to be no compromise. Everybody says, well, he'll take the right wing side and say, well, we can't get anything done, and then I say, well, why don't we compromise? No, we won't compromise.
You can't compromise your values.
See, that's where what do you think about that? Should there be compromising on anything, or just hold the line?
Well, I don't think you need to. You cannot compromise, certainly on your principles, but there is a way to work across the aisle, and we have to. We've done it before. I don't think the founding fathers probably agreed, but look at the Constitution. I mean, they hammered it out, and it's the same thing has to happen in all good legislation. Mr. Ryan and a senator named Ron Wyden put together basically a Medicare reform plan in December. Ron Wyden is from Oregon. He's one of the most liberal senators there is, and he came to he sat down with Paul.
Pretty sensible guy.
Paul's a pretty sensible guy. I think Ron is on some issues, and I wouldn't.
No, he's far left, man.
He's very left. However, on this issue,
Would you let Mr. Goss talk? He's trying to get his point across. He can speak for himself. Go ahead. Sorry, Mr. Goss.
Where's some scissors at? So I can stab.
Sorry, Mr. Goss. I'm sorry.
You don't have to stab yourself.
I'm not going to stab myself. I'm going to stab him.
He's getting out with his pencil.
No, the point being that people. We're all Americans. We all love this country. We all recognize we're on a path that's unsustainable, and that even in Washington, everybody demagogues the heck out of everybody else. But the bottom line is, we're Americans, and we got to put this country first. And sometimes we don't.
I've got something real quick.
Sure.
Just to let everybody know, the numbers to call in are 277-9600, 775-9600. You're listening to the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty. In studio today, we've got U.S. congressional candidate Chauncey Goss, and Mr. Goss. I got one quick thing, and then another topic that Smitty and I argue about all the time. First thing, obviously, you know about the we had the website deal this earlier in the week with Mr. Trey Radel, who's running against you. At first, it came out that he had purchased a couple websites in the other candidates' names. And I looked at the websites. I went to him personally, and
He's retracted it since then.
Well, he did.
And I have to say, I was a big culprit. I jumped on him pretty hard last week, but I'm proud to say that he came to his senses and pulled it.
He did,
no,
but the thing was, I looked at the websites. It didn't appear to me, at least looking from my perspective, that there was any personal attacks that I could tell. It looked like it was basically just stating either a record or at least what he thinks the other candidate stood for. But when he saw the public opposition, a lot of the
negative stuff.
Well, a lot of folks that were listening and found out about it either took it the wrong way or just wasn't the way he wanted it to be intended. So he did donate or is in the process of, I don't know if it's been transitioned, donate the sites back to the candidates, remove the information from the sites, and he said he would put that information back on his site. What was that a stand-up thing for him to do, to donate them back, or how do you see that?
I probably view it a little bit differently. I think that what happened was, Trey bought the websites initially, and that's fine, but he bought them last March, well before he was running, while he was on the radio, well before I was running. People say, why didn't you buy your name? Well, I wasn't running for Congress, and I never really thought buying ChaunceyGoss.com was something I had to do in my normal life, but I guess from now on I learned. So Trey bought them. Then when he was caught and asked about it, he sort of, I won't say lie, but he
You can say that if you want.
Okay, you said he wasn't as honest as he could have been. And then when as I said, you can
politicians
say that.
never say lie.
Okay, I just want to hear him say it again. I just want to hear him say it again.
You're brutal.
That's how it is here.
So anyway, he there was proof that existed that showed that he clearly had purchased them, and then he said, yeah, I did it. So
sure.
and then when he did that, there was a huge public outcry and said, that's not the way we want to play this game.
Right.
We need to run on the issues here.
And I like Trey. I
do too.
personally like him. I like a lot of his positions. I just thought that one thing was trying to throw a spitball in the middle of the game like a Nolan Ryan.
Well, to me, it's not necessary. We don't need to run a heavily negative campaign right now. We're just. The country has some serious problems. We need to be talking about the solutions as candidates. We don't need to be buying their web names. If you want to put up something about me, do it on your own website. That's fine.
Can I put something on my?
Absolutely, you can.
I'm gonna put a bunch of stuff about you now.
I would not put nothing about him.
No, his father's connected, I think.
Yeah.
Hey, did your father ever go to Colombia? I'm just wondering. Spend some time at a hotel or anything down
Cartagena,
there?
maybe.
Cartagena. Was he ever down in Cartagena? Just got to ask you.
No comment. Come on.
No
don't
comment.
give us the politician answer.
Tad's number's in the book. You can call him and ask him.
Oh, nice, nice. We might have him in here. That would be great. Are you kidding me?
You know that number's unlisted.
Oh
man.
yeah, you call, they'll be at your house the next day.
It's Black Ops.
Yeah.
Just look in the Lee County phone pages under Black
A couple
Ops.
black Tahoes pull up, Men in Black get out, you're done.
So the bottom line is, he did retract it. I understand where you come from, but I just want to make sure, when they purchased the website, was it illegal to purchase?
I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know the answer to that. It is my understanding that if you purchase somebody else's name with the intent to either sell it or cause mischief, that is not legal in the United States, both in Florida and federally.
If you use it and post, say, their voting record, would that be considered causing mischief?
I don't know. In my case, I don't have a voting record, so I don't know.
You don't vote?
I do vote, but I don't have a voting record. You're not going to know who I voted for.
Oh, come on. You could tell us.
All right, I voted for the Republicans.
All right, nice. All right, well,
I'm shocked.
Well, let's get on the next topic now. Smitty, you and I argue about this all the time, but we've actually got our solution.
Well, let's hear it. I'm talking about the bunker guy.
Well, no, not that one. Immigration.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, we have a good solution here.
All right, now.
Well, I want to see how he feels about immigration.
Before we give our idea?
Before we give our idea.
Okay.
Are you for it or against it or what? Are you going to walk the fence, so to speak? No pun intended.
Am I for immigration?
Legal immigration, I'm sure.
Yeah. There's two issues with immigration. One is we absolutely have to seal the border. I mean, we have a huge problem with illegal immigration, and the way you deal with that is you seal the border, and then the second way you deal with it is you come up with a decent e-verify program so that employers can say, hey, you should be here, you shouldn't be here. The second issue, and I think probably the more important one, is on the legal side. You figure out, how do we get people in this country we need? We need workers.
We'll deal with the people that are here now, because that's always a big tearjerker. The guy that was here for 20 years and has a kid.
But if he was here illegally, I don't feel as compelled to help him.
I don't either, because he broke the law to be here, and he's been breaking the law every year since. Every time he applied for a job, put his kid in a hospital, they don't have a Social Security number, so we're paying the tab.
Yeah, but I'll never get my grass mowed.
Oh, that's true. No. You need to get out there and mow it yourself. Have you seen yourself?
No. That's a disturbing thought.
Don't wear your Speedo like last time.
It was sweet, wasn't it?
Well, now, where do you stand on, there were some comments made a while back about the Arizona immigration law, and, everyone touts in, they give their opinion on, where do we stand on Arizona? And, what's your thought on the Arizona immigration law?
I think the Arizona law made a lot of sense for Arizona, and I think that the United States should leave them alone. If the United States, as the federal government, were doing its job,
good point,
we would not have this problem.
Have you seen the pictures of the fence that they put up down in that area?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is comical. I mean, it looks something like you see over here on the Beltway or something.
It looks it looks like the surround like a surrounding like a cubicle.
Right.
For,
I mean, we're not architects or engineers, but I guarantee you, we can come up with a better fence than a piece of steel just stuck in the ground. Looks like a piece of foil. I mean, it's horrible, and they call that stopping the border. A moat with alligators would have been better.
Now, when you talk to your friends down on the border, I mean, they're living a very different life than we are. I mean, they're living in fear.
Yeah.
Because every day someone's walking across their front yard, and sometimes they've got guns. Actually, a lot of times they have guns because they're being escorted.
Well,
we have a great idea. Go ahead.
I'll get to it in just a second. But back to the Arizona law now. Would you favor something like that in Florida?
Why would Florida need an Arizona law?
Well, not Arizona law, but something.
The particular wording that they've got. I mean, do we have anything similar?
No, I don't think so, because I don't think we have people walking across the border. I don't think that I have not heard the same issue here.
They're taking sheetrock and floating across and getting onto our property here. It hit to get your feet in the land thing where once they land here, they're safe.
Well, let's say they walked across the border in Texas or whatever, and they make it to Florida. We've got to have something where we can at least.
We do. The federal law right now says if you're illegal, you go back.
Yeah, but are you going to enforce it?
But the federal,
it should be, absolutely.
But it's not being.
It's not being enforced. Have you ever been to Bonita Springs?
Downtown Bonita, Old 41.
Of
course.
Old
41.
Of course. My point is,
anybody out there for the feds?
If the federal government were enforcing the law and doing what it's supposed to be doing, this would not be an issue.
But they're not. So are the states going to be? I mean,
the states.
It looks like the Supreme Court may be leaning towards siding with Arizona,
and they should. I think absolutely. I totally agree with that.
Do we agree with that? I'll have to mark that on the calendar. This is crazy.
Well, tell them your fence idea real quick before we go to break.
My fence idea. Our fence idea was what we do is we build this thing out of stainless steel, and we build
real
it
shiny and
slick, and put like a dome at the top so that you can't throw one of those, grappling hooks on. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have the illegal aliens build it for free because it's free labor
from their side.
So when they're done, they're on that side of the fence already.
Who's going to design it?
We're going to put www.builddefense.com, and everybody puts money in.
Yeah, but who's going to design the
engineering? The Germans are going to design it, so we know that thing will get built solidly.
Then it's electrified, right?
Electrified fence, and I
think that'll be great. Well, when we come back, folks, we've got U.S. congressional candidate Chauncey Goss in studio. This is the Ledge Radio Show, and we'll be right back.
Hey, it's Bubba the Love Sponge. Check me out mornings right here on 96 K-Rock from 6 till 10 a.m. Followed by an all-new lineup of the best damn radio shows, period. Zito and Garrett middays. Stan and Haney afternoons. Followed by Lex and Terry, the Nick and Artie, the Alex Jones Show, and Man Count. Check out all the shows on 96krock.com. Take K-Rock everywhere you go by downloading the iRadio Now app on your smartphone or your Android. It's a radio station that has balls to give you exactly what you wanted. Entertaining radio. 96 K-Rock. Talk that rocks.
By combining the goals of sport, science, and conservation, the 3rd annual Guy Harvey Ultimate Shark Challenge Tournament and Festival delivers the most electrifying big game competition in shark fishing history. Teams will compete for over $10,000 in cash and prizes, live on camera for thousands of cheering spectators. Team entry still available, so secure your spot now. For fans and the general public, be sure to bring the entire family for a free 3-day companion festival at Lashley Crab House and Park in Punta Gorda, Florida, May 4th, 5th, and 6th. Witness the exciting live shark release fishing action on the stadium-sized Jumbotron and festival main stage hosted by the Shark Brothers. And all weekend long, enjoy free entertainment and interactive exhibits, including the Mobile Aquarium, Kid Shark Tooth and Fossil Hunt, Jaws Movie Prop Collection, the Celebrity Shark Cave, Fishing Seminar, double feature movie night under the stars, and a live concert. Portion of the event proceeds will support the Wounded Warrior Project. For more information, visit UltimateSharkChallenge.com. This live event is presented by Budweiser and produced by Think Out Loud Productions.
If you're a boat enthusiast, then you know just how much fun boating can be. Whether you're fishing in the Gulf or just taking in the beautiful sights that can only be seen from a boat, there's nothing quite like it. Boat owners also know that it takes time to maintain that boat. So when it comes to cleaning, detailing, and restoration, Summer Jade is on board for you. Summer Jade specializes in full-service detailing. They also offer teak restoration, underwater hull cleaning, and hull painting. It doesn't matter if you have a small boat or a large yacht. They do the job with quality results. Summer Jade is family owned and operated, serving Lee County and the surrounding areas. And best of all, their rates can't be beat. Call today and ask for Eric. He has some great promotional rates, some as low as $11 per foot.
I'm Eric Naylor, the owner of Summer Jade. Our rates are unbeatable. Call me at 239-878-6947. That's 878-6947. In Florida, it's summer every day.
Summertime. And the boating is easy.
When it comes to finding a reliable general contractor, you need to pick someone with a solid background and a good reputation. D Squared Construction gives you all that and more. They are family owned and operated and stand behind every project. Quality workmanship and satisfaction to the customer has made them one of the premier contractors in Southwest Florida since 2004. Small residential renovations to large commercial projects, they do it all, and they do it all well. Your projects are much too important to trust just anyone. D Squared Construction will come to your house or commercial project and give you a free on-site estimate. Call Cav & Dwyer at 239-561-4108. That's 239-561-4108 for a free consultation and some good sound advice. They won't waste your time or your money. D Squared Construction, when it needs to get done right.
Get off the ledge! Get off the ledge! This country sure as hell been going down the drain.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening.
Why should you want to know? Don't you mind about the future?
And now, live, unedited, unrehearsed, and unapologetic, brought to you by Imperial Fire Alarm and Security, securing your world. Straight off the ledge, it's JD and Smitty.
Welcome back. You're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty. Call us now at 277 or 775-9600. You can check out the live stream at theledgeradioshow.com. In studio with us this morning is U.S. congressional candidate Chauncey Goss. And Mr. Goss, welcome back.
Thanks.
Smitty, what you got for Mr. Goss? I know you got something hidden over there.
No, I've just got a couple of quotes. I actually want to see if he knows who said them because they're political quotes. Forgive your enemies, but never forget their names. Who said that?
Is this something you got off Wikipedia
Hold on.
again?
Not a clue.
John F. Kennedy.
That's why.
How about this? The hallmark of our country is decency, democracy, freedom, and so forth. The other guys don't, but we have to maintain our standards. Who said that?
Not a clue.
Porter Goss.
Oh, well done.
Man.
You're done.
Well done.
Take him out. He's done.
I'm finished.
Your dad's going to whip your butt when you get home.
I got to start reading the works of Dad.
You
That's
better.
right. That's right.
You better. I like this one. I've never let my schooling interfere with my education.
Who said that?
Mark Twain.
Yeah, that sounds like a Mark Twain.
That's a gold standard.
Well, I've got a question on campaign donations. I went to the FEC website, just to make sure to look at all the campaigns, all the different candidates' donations. And one thing that kind of stood out on you, and I think it's probably because you did a lot of work out of state, is there's a ton of your donations come from other states, whereas a lot of the other candidates, they're getting most of their funds from Florida, Florida residents.
I have not done an analysis on the FEC reports. I'm not going to dispute that. I think that initially what happens when you first announce you're going to run, you've got to go out and get money where you can, and you go to friends and family, and that's generally what we did. So
I noticed there was a lot from Virginia, places up close to where you worked, So
well, it's friends and family.
That's what I would guess. I mean, do you have any events up there? Is that do you have little meet and greets to? Sure,
absolutely. This is a sport where you have to raise money where you can. It's something like $1 million they say to compete well, so that's what we're trying to do is raise $1 million.
So even at the congressional level, you got to get about $1 million to run well.
That's what they tell us.
Wow, that's.
Are you close?
No, I'm not close to $1 million.
You got to talk to your dad.
I don't think he's going to be writing me a check for $1 million.
He knows people. He'll squeeze it out of them.
I don't think his dad was that way, man. He seemed like a nice guy.
No, Dad definitely
That's what makes him
that
like
way.
that. That's what makes him so good. You get real friendly, and then you push him in the river. That's how it works.
Would your dad have known any of the information, like about the Osama bin Laden, shooting? I mean, does he still get briefed on things like that?
Yeah, I believe he does.
Wow. Let me ask you a question. When you were growing up, did you have like a CIA kind of watch you and make sure you weren't kidnapped or anything? Did you have any special treatment?
No. Dad was mayor of Sanibel.
I'm talking about when he was CIA director.
Oh no,
yeah, but he wasn't young.
I was in my 40s.
Okay. Well, did you still have somebody watch you, or no? They could have
really.
kidnapped you or something if they wanted to.
I hope not.
They'd give him right back. What are you talking about?
Cut his ear off like the guy did.
What guy?
The guy who had. Who am I thinking of? It's a history thing with the guy with BP gas or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know where you get this stuff, man. So here's an issue that just came up in the news just a couple days ago. United States is looking at a federal law to ban the use of cell phones while driving. Do you think that's a good idea for the federal government to invoke another law to put it on every state?
No.
That's a good answer. Is it
next?
You want to elaborate on that?
It may not need any elaboration. But would that be a states' right law, or would that be even a more localized city law? Because you've seen some cities, and municipalities invoke it.
I'm not a big fan of the speed limit. I'm not a big fan of seatbelt laws.
You like the Autobahn in Germany?
Well,
that was sweet.
I think that the federal government, was founded initially for national defense and rule of law. Why all of a sudden we're doing, you can have your cell phone on, but it has to be hands-free from the federal government is ridiculous.
Right. Yeah, I think there was 4 things that the federal government was in charge of, which was national defense, commerce, foreign relations, and the other one, item you just
rule of
mentioned.
law, which is basically courts,
exactly,
and police.
And it seems like out of those 4 categories, we've got like hundreds of thousands of laws that are so overreaching that you guys in Congress could spend the next 20 years repealing and repealing and repealing, and you'll still have 100,000 laws in the books.
Yeah, there are way too many laws. One of the things is we're spending about $4 trillion right now, which is just insane.
Is that a lot?
It's a lot. It's a trillion's 1,000 billion, a billion's 1,000 million. I mean, most people, you can't wrap your head around that.
I just go for one.
There you go. It's a ton of money, and what that means is the federal government's growing, and what that means is the federal government grows, you shrink, and your rights shrink, your liberties shrink, and your personal freedoms shrink, and that's why we need to put the government back in the box.
Well, here's another one now. The Obama administration is also seeking about $470 million to prevent overseas global warming disasters, including terrorism. So I don't know, man. They're going for another $470 million to fund projects that will help global warming overseas because they think that's going to lead to terrorism.
Yeah, I've heard that argument before, and I think that the argument goes if you have particularly food issues, if you've got hunger, water issues in mostly Africa, then you're going to have
so much corruption over there. You're not going to get anything done. I talked to somebody about 6 months ago. I forget who it was. The guy said he had a big thing going with dropping food down to people that were starving.
The foreign aid.
Yeah, the foreign aid. And he said that they were flying over there, and the guy says, "Just push it out. Push it out the plane." He goes, "Well, we're not there." He goes, "Don't worry about it. Just push it out."
Who's picking it up? The dictator of that area?
Yeah,
or the drug lord of that area?
He said basically, well, the people need it. He goes, well, if they want it, they'll come and get it. We're just pushing out. We got to get back. And all that money and food just wasted, and it's corruption galore out there. So
I don't even know who oversees that type of project. Is that
Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, I believe, don't they?
Well, it's usually the State Department, USAID, which is the agency that deals with it.
277-9600. That's 775-9600. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to give us a call. We got Chauncey Goss in here with the studio with us.
Yeah, Mr. Goss, Chauncey. Also got something else that came up recent, and now, of course, the Obama administration has reversed course on it. The feds were, they attacked family farms. You heard about this one. They wanted to stop any farmer that had his children helping him working on the farm, which has been going on for 300 years, to limit that because it's too dangerous for the children to work heavy machinery. So they were going to make them take CDL classes to have a truck driver's license, a tractor trailer license to operate the family John Deere.
It's dangerous, okay?
What are they doing, man? Can you think of any more opportunity for the government to shut down business?
No, the government is out of control right now. There's no doubt to me that President Obama does not like small business. He'd be very happy to see it go away. I was talking to someone the other day. He puts together playgrounds for children, and he can't do it in the United States because the mats are so expensive. Those
the foamy mats?
The polyethylene mats.
Sure.
So what he's doing is he's taking them to other countries. He's putting the playgrounds in Haiti in places because it's too expensive to do them here, because over there they don't care if their kids fall in mulch or sand.
Right.
But here you have to put the $100,000 mat down, so they just don't build a playground.
So they won't build a playground. Hey, caller, you're on the ledge with JD and Smitty. Go.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Oh, pretty good. What you got for us?
Good. Good morning, Mr. Goss. I got a question for you.
Go ahead, caller.
Turn your radio down.
What you got for him? Yeah, you can turn your radio down, please.
Okay. My question is, I would like to know what your views are on the drug testing for public assistance. Some states are requiring it to happen before you can apply and be approved. I just wanted to know what your thoughts on that were.
I'd hate to see it become a federal law, to be honest with you. I think that if the states want to do it, and I think Governor Scott's made a pretty good case that it needs to happen, then that's fine. We were talking earlier about having too many federal laws on the books. I don't think it needs to be a federal law, but I think from the state standpoint it makes perfect sense.
I think he did that, and then he found out that with all the money and all the, stuff it cost to actually run that program, they were getting like less than 1% of the people were coming up as a drug.
You would hope that would be true. I mean, I can't imagine everyone on assistance is on drugs.
No.
I think it's just something that it's kind of it's a catch-22. I mean, you got to hold people accountable, but at the same time you got to make sure that the program
is worth the money that you're putting into it.
It's risk versus reward. Are we going to spend $2 billion to save $1 million?
Right.
And I don't know that those are the numbers, but I know that is an issue. And thanks, caller. We appreciate the call. What else you got for the?
If you were to vote for one of your opponents, who would you vote for?
Man, here we go. Here he goes again.
I got to think about that one. I've been running for about 6 months. I've been thinking. I told you I sleep about 6 hours a night. I've been thinking about how to win this race.
Right.
every waking and sleeping moment. So, and that one hasn't crossed my mind yet. So I got to think about that one.
So it's not about voting for other people.
No, but I want to see if you were to drop out, who would you vote for? I asked them all the same question.
Yeah, but they're not going to say that until after
But it takes me to ask it.
I got
Jeez,
you.
did you get with the program?
It's a good question.
This is bullshit.
One of the big misconceptions, and I think that we heard it from that caller that just called in about U.S. congressmen. They believe that you're actually going to be able to change our state's issues, and not realizing that you're doing work for the federal side.
Right.
I mean, so that's and it's just education. I mean, I think we lost that in U.S. history class or whatever it is.
Well, it's interesting. I talked to some folks yesterday. That's all I've been doing for the last couple of months is talking to people. And one of the groups I was talking to, I was just getting beat up on local land regulations. Absolutely just beat up. And I thought, I'm not running for county commission and I'm not running for city council.
It's a Frank Mann thing, huh?
Yeah, it was. I did. I said, hey, Frank's over there, but I wasn't going to throw him under the bus. But it is people are so frustrated, and rightly so, and they're frustrated all up and down the line because small businesses can't work. They're being totally constrained right now by government on all levels.
Yeah, this is the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty. Phone numbers to call in are 277 or 775-9600. In studio this morning, we've got congressional candidate Chauncey Goss running for District 19 seat, soon to be District 19 seat. And Chauncey, I've got one last question for you, unless Smitty's got something. We got one of the Democrat reps, Chaka Fatah.
Oh yeah, spell that, please.
Well, I've got it in print. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to spell it. But he was quoted saying Obama will get votes because he'll protect unemployment benefits and food stamps. And yet they're so offended when we say that he's the food stamp president. Do you think that's true? Is he going to get votes because of that? Has he set himself up for that?
Oh, he'll absolutely get votes. So the Democratic Party will get votes because of that, because the Democratic Party's whole premise going in is we want to make you dependent on us, so you vote for us. The Republican Party's whole premise going in is we want to make you independent so you can go out and earn a living and be Americans.
Get your own job, maybe start a business.
That's the difference between us. It's unfortunate that President Obama is the food stamp president, and he will win votes because of that, and that's why we need to make sure we get our side out to vote.
If people wanted to check out your website or
my real website,
your real website, want to donate to your campaign, what's the website address?
Best way to get hold of me is gossforcongress.com. It's GOSSFOR Congress.com. And one thing people can do to help me out right now, we're trying to get on the ballot by petition. And if you go to that website, there is a petition there. You can fill it out, throw it in the mail. You'd have to put your own stamp on it.
You almost said throw it in the trash. I saw you.
No.
I saw you. You would throw it in the mail. You hesitated, man.
Snail mail.
We got a phone call. Let's take a phone call.
Caller, you're on the Les Radio Show with JD and Smitty. What you got?
Yes, good morning. I'm wondering what your thoughts are on the states implementing the laws of as far as mandatory ultrasounds for women, even if the doctors feel that it's unnecessary, and the extra burden of cost on the states and on the women. Gotcha,
caller. Thanks for the call. We'll try to respond to that right now. And I think, Chauncey, that's a states' rights issue.
It is, but it also goes down to what we were talking about earlier about how medical care is getting so expensive.
Insurance companies first.
Part of it is defensive medicine, where people think they have to. The doctors, because of the tort reform has not happened, so doctors think that we need to do defensive medicine, so all of a sudden they're doing a bunch of procedures they don't really need to do, and they're very expensive, and they just run the cost of medicine up.
All right. Oh, we got another caller on the line. Caller, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty. What you got? Caller, are you there?
My question.
Yes, go ahead, caller. Yes, sir.
Okay, my apologies. My question was about the black box voting. I was reading an article online saying how George Soros is involved with the voting system, how it's going to be sent overseas and then put back in here, so there's no way it's traceable or that anybody can really look into a vote once it's cast.
Was it a particular website you saw this on?
Sounds like it was on a Republican website.
No, it was on an independent one. Hartman program.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, caller. We'll, it's not something I've heard of. I mean, I'm fairly familiar with George Soros, and I know I know what he stands for. I haven't heard that particular
tell the truth.
That particular issue, but it wouldn't surprise me. I guess it's something we'll have to dig into and kind of find out a little bit more about it. Folks, we're going to end this segment with U.S. congressional candidate Chauncey Goss when we return. We'll get back to some other issues.
277-9600, 775-9600. Give us a call and give us your best shot.
Yeah, Congressman Goss, thanks for being on with us.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for taking the abuse. I appreciate it.
Anytime, and that's presumptive. But
I tell you, Dad, come on in here. I'd love to talk with him.
Be back in a minute.
It's the Cigar Dave Show.
It is the one time of the week where you can light a cigar, pour yourself a cocktail, prop your feet up on a comfortable ottoman, and not be bothered by the enemies of pleasure who desire to take away your right to enjoy alpha male good life maneuvers.
Brought to you by the world-famous Cigar Bar. Good times, great cigars at the world-famous Cigar Bar.
It's the Cigar Dave Show. Saturday afternoon from 2 to 4 p.m. on 96 K-Rock.
Talk that rocks.
By combining the goals of sport, science, and conservation, the third annual Guy Harvey Ultimate Shark Challenge Tournament and Festival delivers the most electrifying big game competition in shark fishing history. Teams will compete for over $10,000 in cash and prizes, live on camera for thousands of cheering spectators. Team entry still available, so secure your spot now. For fans and the general public, be sure to bring the entire family for a free 3-day companion festival at Lashley Crab House and Park in Punta Gorda, Florida, May 4th, 5th, and 6th. Witness the exciting live shark release fishing action on the stadium-sized Jumbotron and festival main stage hosted by the Shark Brothers. And all weekend long, enjoy free entertainment and interactive exhibits, including the Mobile Aquarium, Kid Shark Tooth and Fossil Hunt, Jaws movie prop collection, the Celebrity Shark Cave, fishing seminar, double feature movie night under the stars, and a live concert. Portion of the event proceeds will support the Wounded Warrior Project. For more information, visit UltimateSharkChallenge.com. This live event is presented by Budweiser and produced by Think Out Loud Productions.
When it comes to finding a reliable general contractor, you need to pick someone with a solid background and a good reputation. D-Squared Construction gives you all that and more. They are family owned and operated and stand behind every project. Quality workmanship and satisfaction to the customer has made them one of the premier contractors in Southwest Florida since 2004. Small residential renovations to large commercial projects, they do it all, and they do it all well. Your projects are much too important to trust just anyone. D-Squared Construction will come to your house or commercial project and give you a free on-site estimate. Call Cav & Dwyer at 239-561-4108. That's 239-561-4108 for a free consultation and some good sound advice. They won't waste your time or your money. D-Squared Construction, when it needs to get done right.
If you're a boat enthusiast, then you know just how much fun boating can be. Whether you're fishing in the Gulf or just taking in the beautiful sights that can only be seen from a boat, there's nothing quite like it. Boat owners also know that it takes time to maintain that boat. So when it comes to cleaning, detailing, and restoration, Summer Jade is on board for you. Summer Jade specializes in full-service detailing. They also offer teak restoration, underwater hull cleaning, and hull painting. It doesn't matter if you have a small boat or a large yacht. They do the job with quality results. Summer Jade is family owned and operated, serving Lee County and the surrounding areas. And best of all, their rates can't be beat. Call today and ask for Eric. He has some great promotional rates, some as low as $11 per foot.
I'm Eric Naylor, the owner of Summer Jade. Our rates are unbeatable. Call me at 239-878-6947. That's 878-6947. In Florida, it's summer every day.
And the boating is easy.
Get off the ledge! Get off the ledge!
This country should have hell been going down the drain.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening.
Why should you want to know? Don't you mind about the future?
And now, live, unedited, unrehearsed, and unapologetic, brought to you by Imperial Fire Alarm and Security, securing your world. Straight off the ledge, it's JD and Smitty.
You're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty. You can call us at 277 or 775-9600. Check out the live stream at theledgeradioshow.com.
Our webpage, too, www.theledgeradioshow.com.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm stumbling over it.
You better read that. Read it to make sure. On the line with us, we got some special guests. Sean, are you there? Sean, are you there? Sean with the
that. We are here.
All right, so we got Sean and Brooks. You guys both there?
Oh, yeah.
All right, we got the Shark Brothers on the line. Guys, what you got coming up, man? We've been playing a couple of your promo spots. What's the latest?
Well, we have one shark-infested multimedia extravaganza coming up May 4th weekend. This is going to be something like nobody has ever seen. Our event gets bigger and bigger every year. What we've done is combine the goals of sports, science, and conservation, and what we've done is infuse that with purposeful entertainment designed to inspire and educate people in a way that, it's like they're living inside of a television show. So it's like if you took NASCAR and Discovery Channel Shark Week and put it in a blender, that's what you got.
Oh, that sounds awesome, man. Where are you guys holding this thing?
It's in Punta Gorda at the Lashley Crab House and Lashley Marina down there, right after you get over if you're going Southside Bridge there at Lashley Crab House.
Yep.
And May 5th and 6th.
Can I bring my shotgun?
Oh, sure. But we're going to need some crowd control and security. You better do that.
I love it.
Now, what kind of sharks do you fish for out there?
One in the water.
The water sharks?
12 eligible species on our list, all the way from makos, which the likelihood of catch on those is low, but we have some teams with 32-foot-plus boats, yellowfins with twin 300 horsepower that are threatening to go offshore, so that could happen, all the way down to black tips, nurse, spinners, tigers, hammers, bull sharks. We have actually an abundant species collection here in our local waters. It's actually about 14 or 16 common species. We've got 12 on our eligible species list for points.
Sure. Now, I heard you mention tiger shark. What do those taste like? Are they like tiger shrimp?
No, I don't think quite like tiger shrimp, but they're not very good eating, especially the bigger ones. And actually, January 1st, they put tiger sharks on the protected species list in Florida waters, so you can't even harvest them in Florida waters.
Now, what happens if you land one, though?
Catch and release, isn't it?
You have to give it back? You got to put it back in the water?
Yes, absolutely. You're not even supposed to remove it from the water. We actually lobbied and worked with the FWC, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, on some of these proposed measures over the course of last year. And, we're also outspoken advocates for sportsmen and women's rights. However, we do draw the line at wasteful practices. And unless you're an indigenous South Polynesian cultural, demographic where you eat, what you can when you can to simply survive. Here in America, where we've got, a McDonald's on every corner, taking a fish like that, or a large hammerhead, a mature hammerhead, for instance, that's also on the protected species list this year, is just done for trophy hunting, taking a picture, cutting the jaws out, those kind of things. So while we advocate, we also at the same time draw the line between, wasteful practices and sustainability. And that's what this tournament format is all about. It maintains the integrity and excitement of the sport and involves the public, but it also addresses those kind of issues of sustainability.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, it's great to have you guys on. We've got the Shark Brothers on the line with us on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty, and they're talking about the Guy Harvey Ultimate Shark Challenge, and it's a festival too, right? Family oriented.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have all kinds of stuff. Kids' fossil tooth hunts, shark's tooth and fossil hunts. We're going to have the mobile aquarium down there. We're going to have bounce house. I mean, there's something for kids and kids at heart, adults, plenty of cold beer and good food, and you name it. It's going to be down there. And
that's next weekend.
About releasing these fish, that's exactly why we've got a huge stadium-sized screen down there. We're going to have several cameras on the water. People can watch the anglers tagging these fish. They got to conventionally tag them and measure them and release them. And then we've got Moat Marine has got a research team that certain candidates like tigers and big hammers and bulls that will dispatch that team there, and they'll attach satellite tags, and people can track those sharks all over the world wherever they migrate to.
Well, that's cool. I wouldn't mind doing that.
Is it free for spectators? I mean, how's that work? Do they just show up down there? Is there lots of parking and all that?
Yeah, we work with all of our sponsors. This entire live event is presented by Budweiser and just a host of other sponsors and supporters. You can go on our website, ultimatesharkchallenge.com, and our hats off to them. Every year we do this. It's a free gift to the community, especially during these trying economic times. A great way for families to come out, free admission, free parking, all that, educational infotainment type stuff, all these exhibits. We have Friday night kickoff party, we should say 6 to about 10:30 or 11 o'clock. we've got our special guest of honor, Wendy Benchley, in town, who's the wife of Peter Benchley, who wrote the book Jaws.
Nice.
Obviously, that was turned into one of the, the first blockbuster of all times. It influenced us as kids. She'll be there that night. We're going to do a double feature movie night with a Guy Harvey involved documentary, very current documentary, very relevant, called This Is Your Ocean, Sharks. And we're going to take a brief intermission, and we'll be introducing that movie as well as the main feature of the night, Jaws, the original Jaws movie, Under the Stars, in the courtyard at Lashley Park. And in town, again this year, is the world's largest collection of authentic Jaws movie props that we bring down every year from upstate New York. Chris Kiska is the owner of that collection. So nowhere else can you see the movie Jaws, meet us and Wendy Benchley at the same time, and see this collection, all the stuff you're going to see in the movie, all the iconic props and things that were used right there. It's that's how we kick it off, and then it just rolls into the weekend like that. We got a celebrity shark cage, and we've got live entertainment. And
man, that's a lot of stuff going on, bro.
Yeah, man, you guys are jacked up for this early in the morning.
Jaws Under the Stars.
What'd you take, like a 12-hour energy drink or something?
We didn't go to bed, we pretended it was 1986 and we just went with it.
Are you guys still drinking from last night or what?
Lots of coffee, man. Lots of coffee. Right now, leading up to this thing, it's an enormous undertaking. The production that we put together with this, we have a dozen-person team for that. We're also working with Discovery Channel Shark Week, who will be on site filming with us for the entire weekend. That's huge for us. We're very proud of that exposure it's going to get for the event, for all of our anglers and sponsors, and our little corner of the world here, which, by the way, we want to mention, not too far off after our event, starting May 17th, the world's richest tarpon tournament down in Boca Grande is going to be taking place. And Lou Hastings, who's an observer in our event, we also assign and train observers to every boat to help with species identification and so forth, has revived that world's richest tarpon tournament. They have a very similar message to us, and we're really promoting the conservation of our coastal resources. So world's richest tarpon tournament takes place, starting May 17th. And we want you to check that out, too, because they have a very similar message to us and similar activities, too, for the public and educating them.
Got a big festival, too, down there.
Yeah.
That sounds great. Well, there's a backstory to this, though. I mean, you guys are obviously your anglers, okay? You love catching fish. I'm sure you do a lot of
things. And you go to McDonald's, too. You just say.
You go to McDonald's, whatever. You get the fish sandwich,
fillet.
I'm sure. Yeah, the shark
That's
fillet sandwich.
That's not endangered, by the way.
The fish fillet sandwich?
Not endangered.
I don't even think it's real fish.
Of course it is.
It's flish. F-L-I-S-H.
That's close enough.
Well, but with that, though.
I sponsored that one.
The backstory on this, I mean, you guys are doing this for research. I mean, I was told that sharks are one of the only, if not the only species that doesn't get cancer. Am I right, or am I anywhere close to being right?
Yeah, there are some really important studies going on. Moat Aquarium Laboratory and the Center for Shark Research up in Sarasota is one of our chief science and research partner in all this, and the Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation, just an absolutely invaluable supporter of what we're doing. But the Moat Center for Shark Research and the laboratory up there are doing some studies about the biological impact of these animals and what we can, as the humans, learn from that to perhaps find some cures for things like that. They're doing some extensive studies for the healing power of sharks that may be applied to the military for treating battle wounds and those kind of situations where they can help with the healing. They're amazing animals. They've been around over 400 million years. There's over 500 species of them, largely unchanged really during that time. So yeah, they are amazing. And what drives us in all this is adventure from the time we saw Jaws when we were a little kid, but then realizing as anglers, yes, and we're kind of a strange breed. We're not reformed shark killers like a lot of people think, and we don't do this, by the way, in protest of other tournament formats. We just wanted to be an alternative. It's what we enjoyed doing, catching sharks growing up. It was the interaction experience and how to catch and release them properly. So it grew from that, and then we started working with researchers as voluntary, shark taggers over the years. Got to know Dr. Bob Uter, the head of Center for Shark Research. We said, hey, if this tournament can provide a platform for these guys and gals up there at the lab in the Center for Shark Research to get a lot of data and further their studies, let's do that. So
Sure.
That's when we reached out to, our mission is combine the goals of sport, science, and conservation. So we reached out to Moat. They got on board. We reached out in the conservation realm to Guy Harvey. He was just a perfect choice for that. That was our toughest choice. Where do you go for practical conservation, ethic? And that's where we come from, practical conservation. So that's sort of the backstory on it.
Well,
right.
Speaking of conservation, I mean, what where would we go for a good like manatee sandwich? They got manatee anywhere? I mean, they look like, they're big cows. So, I mean, they taste like beef, or is it chicken? What do you got there?
Everything tastes like chicken.
It kind of tastes like eagle, from what I understand.
Oh, actually, curlew's good too. That's like flying steak, man. That stuff is awesome.
Well, you need a giant crock pot, though, because you got to cook those babies slow.
Well, there's something else that folks don't know about. You guys did some, and we've only got a few minutes left, but you guys helped out with the BP oil spill, didn't you?
Yeah, that we did. We went out for 7 straight days, setting about 15 miles of long line and catching everything from tiger sharks to makos to mahi to swordfish, and they took some core samples. They put out some tags. We did a little culinary research while we were out there. So, it was great. We didn't see any, and this was last November.
Okay.
And we didn't see any signs. We were right up to the oil spill there where the rig was, and didn't see any effects on top of the water. We saw one floating containment boom, but that was about it. And the fish while we were on there tasted pretty good to us. So hopefully the impact on this isn't as bad as we thought.
And they're out there right now, actually, on their last of a series of 4 expeditions. Mode is heading up one of the most extensive, thorough studies on the long-lasting effects of the oil spill. Out of sight, out of mind doesn't mean that, it's not having an effect on the environment. So,
sure.
Getting to run in those kind of circles and support that kind of research and help out anytime we can and document it for them and spread the word about the important work that's being done. That's, with our production company, we do that. And it's just, it started chasing snakes in the backyard when we were little kids, and here we are today doing this kind of stuff. So it's kind of a dream come true for us to work with those kind of people.
Well, it sounds like a great opportunity. I know you guys have done a lot of things in the past, and we'd love to get you guys on again. If there's any possibility that one of us can sneak down to the event next weekend, we'd love the chance to do it, because I personally, I've never even seen a shark caught live. I'm such a terrible fisherman. Usually my average fish is like a half-pound bass. So, and my kids usually catch bigger fish than I do. But we really appreciate you guys being on, and just tell everybody again what the dates of the event are, and let them know where they're going to go for this thing.
Yeah, we'd like to, direct everybody to ultimatesharkchallenge.com. You can find out everything you need to know. The weekend event is May 4th, 5th, and 6th. And we'd like to add, for any of you anglers out there, you guys and the sharks are the stars of the show. And this year, you still got a chance to get in until 4 p.m. on May 4th, which is the Team and Observer meeting. So you can get your entry forms on there, and, you get to show the world what you do this year with Discovery Channel Shark Week filming the entire event. So we want to hear from any teams that still want to get in. Hit ultimatesharkchallenge.com.
And we'd love to get you and Smitty down there, JD. We'll buy you a beer, man. Come down, bring the kids. Plenty for the kids to do. Get down there. Let's have a good time.
Sounds like a plan.
Hey, great, guys. Thanks a lot. Good luck out there.
Guys.
Thanks for calling in.
All right. Well, that was great. That was Sean and Brooks Paxton, the Shark Brothers. They're going to be doing the Guy Harvey Ultimate Shark Challenge up at Lashley Marina in Punta Gorda. I think it's their 3rd annual tournament and festival.
Don't forget to thank our sponsors, Imperial Fire Alarm and Security.
Yeah, title sponsor, Securing Your World.
And if you're interested in getting on board with us and doing some sponsorships and getting on with the program, just contact us and we'll hook you guys up as well.
Just go to the website for our email addresses. Smitty and JD were both on there, theledgeradioshow.com. Check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/The Ledge Radio Show. And we are streaming live every week. Y'all have a great weekend.
See ya.
Out.
It's the